Hello and welcome back to another episode. Now, today I want to share with you a story, a lesson I've learned, as it were, and also as well to talk to you about an amazing game. Can you guess what that game is? Can you hear the music? Any ideas? It is an absolute classic. It is, of course, Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Now, I just downloaded this on the Xbox Live Arcade. It was a bargain, less than £7, and it's so far living up to its reputation as being a downright classic. Now, the reason why is it taking me so long to play this, as you'll see on the screen there, it's 1997. This game, it's been a long time, and I don't know why. How on earth could it possibly have taken me this long to play this game? Well, this is the story I want to tell you, and I suppose the lesson that I have learned. And I think it's a lesson which has an awful lot to say about actually what's going on at the moment in the computer gaming, I suppose, community. Now, 1997 is a very important year for me, but we'll come back to that in just a moment. First of all, let me just say, this game is brilliant. The controls are smooth and precise. The sensation of exploration is spot on. I've always wanted to explore something like Dracula's castle, and not only does this live up to that sense of exploration, but also it's incredibly imaginative. Like this guy here, Flea Man. The monsters, the designs, the layout of the castle, it is beyond reproach. So, hands down, this is a stone cold classic. Now, let's get back to 1997. When this game came out, I think I just entered my second year of high school, and well, I was prejudiced. I was downright prejudiced. At the time, the N64 was the machine to have, as far as I was concerned. GoldenEye 64 was out, or rather, sorry, GoldenEye 007 GoldenEye on the N64, whatever it's called, was out, and it was the premium shooter. And actually, the console was, in my opinion, at the time, and still is actually, probably the premium console out there. So, for example, in terms of when you compare, say, the 3D rendering, couldn't compete. The PlayStation just couldn't compete with the N64. When you look at games, for example, skiing games on the PlayStation, I remember friends of mine would try and convert me to their PlayStation, and I'd go, well, what about 1080 snowboarding on the 64? Again, just couldn't compete. So I was out and out prejudiced, and I never wanted the PlayStation, never really played PlayStation games. I was just all about, at that time, Nintendo, and had been for a while. Now, hang on. I'm doing rubbish here. Now, what happened was that year introduced me to several new concepts, several new games, for example, including, say, Super Mario on the 64. So I was extremely happy with that console. But I had no idea that at that time, in that year, a game like this had come out. And as I say, it's brilliant. I could not be more pleased with this game. The experience of playing it is everything I hoped for. When I saw, for example, gameplay footage and Let's Plays on YouTube, I thought, well, it looks like I want it to feel a certain way, and I'm sure it won't when I play it. That was my assumption. But it feels precisely the way I want it to. It's a game that doesn't disappoint. Now, why am I thinking about this? Why am I so concerned about this? Well, it's because at the moment in the computer game world, and as it were, amongst fans of computer games, there is a less than civil, a less than subtle war that goes on. People call each other things like Sony ponies, and if you like the Xbox, it's the X-Bone and all this kind of thing. And I think more than ever, people are loyal to particular companies and brands in an unthinking way. Now, the reason why I told you that story to begin with is just to highlight the fact that it's very easy to do, especially when you're 12, 13 years old, and you can't afford all the different consoles. You're going to go, well, this is the one I've got. The one I've got I think is best. It must be the best one. And that, like I say, that is understandable. That's a human thing to do. So I'm not saying, oh, how could you possibly have a favourite? But I suppose the problem is that a favourite can blind you to some wonderful stuff out there. And one thing that I've learned over the years, and certainly, for example, in playing and revisiting games like this, is actually you shouldn't doubt the wisdom of other people. You can always doubt their intelligence, you can always doubt their ability to have a sound opinion, but actually if millions of people are playing a game, or if millions of people own a console, then there must be something to it, and in that sense it's probably worthwhile trying out at some point. Now, do I regret having my prejudice against the original PlayStation? No, I don't, because actually, again, as I say, I just didn't have the money as a child to get all these games, to have all these different consoles. Now, I've got a Xbox 360, Sega Dreamcast, a Wii, N64, a Mega Drive, likely to get an Xbox One at some point. I may even now actually get an original PlayStation. I saw a PlayStation Slim in the local cash converters for $12.99 the other day. Sadly, it was gone, but you know, I might keep an eye out for it. I suppose what I'm saying is I've learned quite a lot, and I'm a little bit ashamed, I suppose, of my unthinking prejudice when it came to my friends and their love of the PlayStation. I don't regret it, as I say, because I couldn't have afforded to have all the games, and it would have diluted my experience on one console or the other. If all I could do was buy games. No, sorry, if all I was trying to buy games equally for both consoles, then I wouldn't have been able to afford the range of games that I've got on the N64. So no, I don't regret that. But I'm a little bit. I sort of look back and I go, the younger me could and should have been a bit more open-minded. And I suppose that's what I would say to people today is I don't know, we're all gamers. We all love computer games. We all love experiences like this one. The game that I'm playing here is brilliant. I mean, this isn't really a review, but little things like, for example, it's got a magic system that's just sort of built into the game. There's no magic button. You have to sort of discover the magic spells, almost like combos in Street Fighter. And I love that. I love Street Fighter, for example. But what I find really pleasing about it is the fact that apparently, you know, that in the mythos of the game, the magic in Dracula's castle is just so strong that that there is the ability just to discover these spells. You're not told really how to use the spells. You can buy them by visiting the librarian, but you can just discover them through essentially button mashing. Now, that's a very amateurish way of discovering these things. But for example, let's see if I can do one. Hang on. There we go. Dark Metamorphosis. And that's just an element of the game that's just sort of built in, almost into the background. It's part of the strategy of the game, but it's not at the forefront of it. It's left for you to discover. I love that. So you're discovering how to play, you're discovering the castle itself, and little things like, for example, having items, relics, which show you the names of the enemies that you're killing, and also the damage you've done to them. These are things which you pick up through playing the game. It's an action adventure with RPG. What a strong RPG undercurrent. It's not an RPG element. This is an RPG. And as I say, if I just continue just to unthinkingly go, no, the PlayStation is not very good, I much prefer the N64, I never would have actually essentially pulled my head out my own backside and had a go on this game. So I suppose what I'd say to people who are who are caught up in that way of thinking, whether it's through peer pressure or some restraints on your wallet, you know, be open-minded. Maybe find a friend who's got the other console and go around to their house, have a go, and relish in the fact that actually everyone can have a favourite, but also everyone can bring something different to the table, therefore different experiences. And actually, if my friends had shown me this game, if they hadn't been trying to, for example, convince me that the 3D on the PlayStation could compete with the N64, then I would have, I'm pretty sure I would have gone, this is brilliant, this is amazing, because it is a fantastic game. So I don't know, I've sort of rambled on a little bit about that, and I haven't been playing particularly well here, because I've been trying to remember what I wanted to say. Oh, come on, up the stairs. But hopefully this is sort of struck a chord. Sorry. But hopefully this has sort of struck a chord with you. Oh, come on, you piece of. Yes, there we go. Struck a chord with you, and and if you are a little bit prejudiced, as I was when I was 13, then maybe you should just think about it. Think about why do you think that, and maybe open your mind up a little bit. There's plenty of games out there for us all to enjoy. There's also plenty of exclusives out there for us to share. And if you have the opportunity to play a great game that other people can't, rather than bragging about it, why not get involved? Why not sort of share that experience with others and say, hey guys, you know, we're all gamers. Let's play games, and here is a great game that you could have a go on. Rather than bragging, let's share the love, eh? Anyway, I'll shut up now, and I might play a little bit more of this. Hang on. But that's really all I wanted to say. So I'll play a little bit more, and then I'll shut off this video. I'll sign out. Now let's see. Right, okay, down into the cave. Now I have been down here before. I have to say, I never thought I'd find toads and frogs so frustrating. Ah, see, now last time I pushed this box all the way over, it blocks that flow of water there just below Alucard, the character, and it drowned these guys. I didn't even know what I was doing. Cool, okay, so push it over. Look at them. Oh, it's so cruel. They burn in the water. That's how bad things get when you're a servant of Dracula. Even water won't put out the flames. Oh, damn toads. Oh, you see? Nefarious, these toads. Come on. Yes, there you go. Now, the toads are bad enough, but then, oddly enough, the frogs, these tiny little frogs, these guys, much worse. Now, I just happened to have killed that one straight off, but trust me, it's not good. Hang on. Whoop. Ah, bugger off. There we go. Ah, toads and frogs. Now, it's worthwhile saying that the enemies in the game are much more diverse than just toads and frogs. I happen to have entered the caverns underneath the castle during this playthrough. But again, I can't recommend this game enough. It's a brilliant, brilliant game. You need to play it. Okay guys, well, with that in mind, I suppose, as always, I'd just like to say until next time, do take care. Oh, and take more care than I did just then, diving into the water. Do take care. Bye-bye.